Their numbers were huge. Their voices were loud. Their message was clear.
The most powerful night to date of the Trayvon Martin case is just wrapping up. Good evening. I'm Martha Sigalski.
I'm Jim Payne. A huge rally tonight in Sanford called a national rally for Trayvon. People came from all over the nation to show strength in numbers tonight.
Thousands gathered in Fort Mellon Park in Sanford as national and local leaders demanded justice for Trayvon.
Trayvon Martin, the 17-year-old boy who was shot and killed at a Sanford condo complex last month by neighborhood watch captain. That man, George Zimmerman, has not been arrested.
And that's the massive sticking point, sparking outrage coast to coast. West 2 with local live late-breaking coverage of this massive event tonight.
From the crowds to the message to the speakers, we begin with West 2's Dave McDaniel. And Dave, an emotional night.
It was a very emotional night, Jim, and some are estimating the crowd here at Fort Mellon Park at roughly 10,000 people. They were basically shoulder to shoulder all the way across the park and several hundred yards deep. Some are comparing it to the March on Washington back in the 60s during the height of the civil rights movement. But clearly, this was the Trayvon Martin movement for justice.
No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace!
The Reverend Al Sharpton says he's in this for the long haul, and he asked the thousands of people gathered in Fort Mellon Park to stand with him and the family of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon represents a reckless disregard for our lives that we've seen too long.
It means a lot to me and my family. We really appreciate it. We want justice for Trayvon.
Yeah. Just like to thank every one of you all for just showing us the love, the support, signing the petitions, and making sure that George Zimmerman paid for what he did to your son.
Early in the rally, Sanford's mayor worked to pledge his commitment to getting answers.
The true point is right now is for justice, is to find the justice.
The mayor was cheered by many, booed by a few. Congresswoman Corinne Brown called the mayor back to the stage.
That the mayor is working through this issue, and everybody don't want him to work through this issue now. So I want you to give him a hand.
Adding to the star power of the event, Martin Luther King III.
And we are showing the nation and world that we are going to stand up consistently for justice, because no lie can last forever.
The Reverend Sharpton told the crowd that this is going to be a very long journey. He told them that their message has to be persistent and consistent. As the people left, it was clear they were ready to follow that advice. Reporting live in Sanford, Seminole County, Dave McDaniel, West 2 News.
The crowd was massive and it was passionate. People coming from all over the country to Sanford, Florida tonight to show their support to this family and to their cause. Our live team coverage continues right now with West 2 Stuart Moore. And Stuart, you were out there talking with people who showed up. What's their reaction to a night like tonight?
Well, Martha, they said they felt inspired after tonight because so many people showed up to call for justice in this case. They say that it was a good thing to see a diverse crowd, but also to send a direct message. Thousands gathered in Sanford's Fort Mellon Park demanding an arrest in the killing of a teenager they never met. Driven by the call for justice for Trayvon Martin, people of all races, ages, and backgrounds said that they identified with the teen whose face is now spread all over the world.
It is so tragic that a life is taken and nothing is done. I mean, how can you explain that? That's why we're all here, to try to change. You have to change the things that are.
Patrick O'Hara said he had to be here. He had to show his face to be a part of the movement. Same goes for Luz Lopez, who is the mother to an 18-year-old, who she says can be just as easily profiled as she believes Trayvon Martin was.
It's a very big movement. I think it's made a difference, and it shows that with our civil rights, what we've done is made a difference for this young community now to be able to stand forward and step forward as young adults and knowing that we're going to make a difference.
Individuals, families, groups filed in together and packed the park, holding signs, wearing shirts, cheering, not to hear the voices of the famous speakers, but to let their own voices be heard.
Everybody stands for justice. It doesn't matter about what their race is. What matters most is that we stand for what's right and stand against what's wrong.
And the people we also spoke to say that it was a huge crowd trying to get to this area. Once the park was packed, around 2:30 this afternoon is when people started to file in. The park got packed around 7 o'clock, right as the beginning of the rally. And people were still filing in after that, coming in on buses, and traffic was backed up for miles as people tried to leave. We're live in Sanford. Stuart Moore, West 2 News.
Tonight, Reverend Sharpton estimates the crowd at 25,000 people. With that many people, a hot-button issue, and fiery speakers on the stage, police had to be ready for anything. West 2's Todd Wilson continues our live team coverage tonight. And Todd, what they got was a large but peaceful protest.
That's exactly right. From all the people that I spoke with, that's the way they wanted this rally to be. Peaceful. Thousands of people, black and white, stand together for a rally at Fort Mellon Park. They're here for one cause and one cause only: justice for Trayvon Martin and his family. The message on the stage was justice. The attitude in the crowd was restraint. There's anger towards police, lots of it. Many said it's tough to hold back when every bone in their body is screaming for revenge. They found the grace and a common bond.
Real good. No issues, white, black, brown, everybody's out here. It's wrong. Trying to correct the right, trying to correct what's wrong. That's all it is, bro.
Many had cameras to capture the moment, all of which was overseen by a heavy police presence. That close proximity met with mixed emotions.
It's a little nerve-wracking because, you know, you have all kinds of rallies and you don't have the police here. Just like you say, it's a peaceful rally.
Just because one person is wrong doesn't make everybody wrong. But at the same time, if you're going to do your job, do your job.
Well, right now here in the park, it's pretty much deserted except for some workers trying to put down a smaller stage. Really, all that's left is media. Right now, we understand that the porta potties, they're still left up. They're going to be taking those away tomorrow. And the main stage, we understand, will go away tomorrow also. Trying to get this park back to normal. Live in Sanford, Todd Wilson, West 2.